Hey everyone, guess what? The day has finally arrived. The day where we can play Resident Evil 4 Remake on mobile. So first off, I want to say how you doing everyone? You guys know who I am, so I don't have to introduce myself. It's down below, so you can see. So ever since the new iPhone 15 came out, there's been a lot of reports saying that Resident Evil 4 is going to be on mobile. In fact, there's actually an article by IGN saying that Resident Evil 4 is going to be released to mobile this year, in fact, late 2023. And Wikipedia also states that Resident Evil 4 is coming out in 2023. So it looks like Resident Evil 4 is going to come out in 2023. But the catch is that I don't know if this is only for iOS, but from my research online, it seems to be only coming to iOS. And also, if you have an M1 iPad Pro or any M1 device, then M1 device meaning like M power device, basically M1, M2, or M3, then you will be able to play this game. Now, the catch is that we don't really know how it's going to look on mobile, because obviously it's many games that come to mobile, many console games, they don't exactly look like the same as the console games in terms of like how graphics are maxed out on those, but then they come lower on mobile. But even still, this is a AAA action-oriented game. So even if it looks like dog shit, I'm still gonna play it. I mean, I think we've come to a point where iOS, or at least in terms of Apple or console gaming, is basically on par with the PS4. And this makes me believe, because there's a lot of PS4 games on mobile. And I'm not talking about the Pro PS4 or the Slim PS4. I'm talking about the base PS4. So it's interesting that this game is coming to iPhone 15 almost, I guess, exclusively. I mean, that's what they say, but until I hear otherwise, I'm just gonna say exclusively, I guess. And the funny thing is I looked up the PC requirements to this game, and you can play this game on, the minimum is 8 gigabytes of RAM, but the maximum is 16 gigabytes of RAM. So the Switch cannot play it because the minimum is 8 gigabytes of RAM to play. Anything with 8 gigabytes can play it, at minimum. It's going to be interesting how this game works on the iPhone 15 and the iPad, because the iPad M1 has at base 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the iPhone 15 also has 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's already more powerful than the Switch, But because, games aren't really optimized for mobile, the graphics may look as worse as the Switch. It will give you a good indication when Resident Evil 4 comes out if it's going to look on par or if it's going to look higher or lower than the Switch. Even though mobile will be the weakest to play Resident Evil 4 natively, the remake, the Switch can only do it via remote play. Okay, so this is the Switch, and this is by YouTuber Test Game. I just took his video for the demonstration of showing you the Switch graphics of Resident Evil 4. I have no intention of infringement, and once again, I'm only using his video for the demonstration purposes of if the mobile Resident Evil 4 remake will look similar, slightly lower, or slightly higher to the Switch. Okay, so once again, this is pretty much how I think the mobile version will look like. It's going to look comparable to the Switch. And if it does, then I'm okay with that because the Switch isn't that half bad looking, considering he's using remote play, but it looks like this might be the PS4 remote play, so this should give you some good indication that the graphics will be, for mobile, will be around PS4 level. Well, I never actually stated this, but this footage you are seeing now is from the PC version of Resident Evil 4. And it's by MK Ice and Fire. Once again, I took this video for the demonstration purposes off of YouTube to at least showcase you, I guess, the max potential of Resident Evil 4. So I have no intention of copyright infringement, and I hope they don't also copyright me too. And yeah, this is only for demonstration purposes of the max Resident Evil 4 graphics versus what the mobile version of Resident Evil 4 could, let me say that again, could look like via Switch's remote play. It will, from my understanding of the game, or from what Capcom has said, this is going to be the full version of the game for mobile. So nothing will be cut out. The only thing is the graphics are going to look lower, and that's to be expected because once again, like every other console PS4 game on mobile has had lower graphics. So you can't really expect this to be the same as the PC when every other console game on mobile has had lower graphics. And I'm okay with that because, like, they're still PS4 games. This is still a PS4 game. This is actually one of the greatest PS2 Resident Evil games by many people. So I don't think they're going to care how the graphics are going to look on mobile. I think a lot of people are just going to be so happy that they can play it on mobile because a game like this you would not expect could come to mobile just because it's not prioritized by Apple or any publisher or developer, so it is what it is. I can't change that. All we can do is hope that Apple makes deals with these people to get their games on mobile, and it looks like Apple has made a deal with Capcom to get Resident Evil 4 Remake onto mobile, which I am so excited about. because if you guys don't know, Resident Evil 4 Remake just released this year. In fact, I think it released in March of 2021. So about 2 years. So not that bad. This is a AAA game, so the fact that it's releasing in 2 years to mobile is mind-boggling. Because, like, the only other AAA game I could say that's similar to this caliber would be Alien Isolation. And that's only because they're both story-driven first-person games. Anyway, I think that about covers Resident Evil 4 Remake coming to iOS and iPad M1, specifically the iPhone 15. So there's a lot more games I will cover in the future, so hit subscribe to make sure you are notified, because there's a lot of fantastic games coming out for the iPhone 15 and iPad M1. So take care, everyone.